1,000 years ago, in Yhwach, there was a little chat going on between Yhwach and Ichigo Hyasube. Ichigo, the balancer responsible for keeping an eye on the three worlds, wants to make a deal, a non-aggression pact between Soul Society and Yhwach. But Yhwach isn't buying it. He thinks Ichigo is talking down to him like he's a kid. Yhwach drops some knowledge bombs about the world's history, how it was once all one, and how the Soul King messed things up by splitting life and death. Ichigo pointed out his ignorance, but Yhwach is no pushover. He can see stuff others can't, thanks to his almighty ability. Suddenly, Ichigo held up his hands, which prompted the Quincy guards to attack him, but he brushed it off easily. So, Yhwach grabs Ichigo's hand with his blood vein move, and with his almighty ability, he sees the past, revealing what happened to the Soul King and Ichigo being present. But Ichigo has got a trick up his sleeve. His hand goes boom, and suddenly, there's a giant phantom hand with an eye engulfing Yhwach. Yhwach doesn't realize what happened and thinks Ichigo can't kill him with his left hand. He mentions how his father's hand is just a sacrifice for his son. Suddenly, he realizes his almighty is gone. Ichigo has taken them. He leaves with a parting message to Yhwach, telling him to mind his business. Yhwach sits back, glad his almighty sight is gone so he doesn't have to see the humiliating remnant of the Soul King's body. Fast forward to today, Yhwach is crashing the Soul King Palace with Uryu Ishida and Jugram and Uryu. His plan? He's ending the world of deceit and giving the Soul King a new purpose of creating a new, peaceful one. Then, Uryu summons some soul debt. Meanwhile, in the Serite below, Urahara is surprised by Genju Shiba, who's rolling in on a weird contraption with a map to the Soul King Palace. Genju's here to join the battle, and he's not one to back down from a challenge. As the replica Tenchurin takes off in a zigzagging frenzy, everyone including Byakuya, Renji, Baz B, Captain Commander Shunsui, Mayuri, and an incapacitated Robert looks up at the sky in amazement. Back in the Soul King Palace, Senjumaru takes the stage, giving orders to her divine soldiers who start mowing down soul dead left and right. But Yhwach? He's just strolling forward like he's on a leisurely walk. Senjumaru warns him not to think too highly of himself after defeating Yamamoto and threatens to turn him into rust on the Soul King's blade. Here's the kicker though, when her divine soldiers try to skewer Yhwach, their swords just twirl around him. Then, another stern ritter, Nyanzal Wizal, pops up, calling Senjumaru and her crew rude and revealing his power as the wind. It's like a force field that makes everything bend and dodge around him. The divine soldiers try to attack again, but nope, their swords just do a little dance around Nyanzal as he takes his turn to skewer the soldiers with his wind attack. Then, Senjumaru gets crafty. She reveals she's been sewing up Nyanzal's robe while he's been playing with the soldiers. Now, he's stuck in her fashion masterpiece. She brags about it, and then, boom, spikes impale Nyanzal, and he's out of there. Cut to Genju, who's wondering what Yhwach's game is. He's got no clue what's at the Soul King Palace, but Orime reminds him he claimed to be an expert. Yoruchi chimes in, saying the enemy's probably after the Soul King, who's the glue holding the worlds together. Ichigo, though, had some weird visions when training there and thinks the Soul King's irreplaceable. Genju, ever the optimist, decides they'll just kick Yhwach's butt, no matter what his plan is. Back to the action, Senjumaru finally thinks her swords can reach Yhwach, but surprise! Yhwach summons his royal guard. Leelbaro, Gerard Valkyrie, Pranita Parnkyaz, and a Skin-Nak Luvar. Gerard, all confident, tries to slice Senjumaru, but she's no pushover. She summons her enormous armored soldier to the fight. But the elite guard, Pranita, does some creepy eye thing and squashes her divine soldier into a ball. Leel, showing off his fancy spirit weapon, Hofnung, took a shot at Senjumaru, taking half her head off. Then he goes ahead to destroy the guard palaces, paving the way for Yhwach's victory. But here's the twist, Senjumaru's not done. She reveals this whole thing was a setup. The Soul King Palace they were fighting over? It's a fake. The real one's hidden by Ichigo, the master of tricks. Now, it's time for round 2. Leel, the sharpshooter, takes a shot at diagrams surrounding them. But a tree branch suddenly grows and swats away his shot, leaving Lille dumbfounded. Then, Kiryu Hikifune pops out from behind the branch, confirming that everything is set. She mentions that she hasn't had to make something this big in a while. As the fabric withdraws, it reveals a cage of life around the platform. Skin and Gerard are baffled and maybe a bit freaked out. Lille fires 3 more shots at the branches, but they barely scratch the surface. What's even crazier is that these branches seem to grow instantly to block anything trying to get through. Gerard is not happy about it, but Hikifune drops some knowledge that the tree eats her Ryatsu, and since Lille's shots are packed with concentrated Raysure, this cage of life is like a buffet for it, growing faster than it can be damaged. So, basically, they're trapped and their powers can't escape. Then the Squad Zero captains showed up with Tenjiro Karenji dropping into the cage of life like it's no big deal. Senjimara reveals herself in a stylish way, and Hikifune swings in on branches to join the party. But wait, there's more. Oetsu Nemea, the Zanpakuto creator extraordinaire, makes a flashy entrance. Gerard tries to take a swipe at him, creating shockwaves, but Nemea casually dodges like it's a dance move. And then, bam, Gerard collapses with a stab wound, and Nemea's like, "I'm number 1 for a reason." Skin is shocked, but Nemea just continues to slice and dice. Lille tries to shoot him, but Nemea splits the shot in 2 with his wobbly blade and then cuts Lille across the chest. It's brutal. Nemea is on fire, slashing through Pranita and slashing Skin too. But Skin stays alive, and Nemea praises him for figuring out how sharp his sword is. Nemea isn't messing around and finishes the job. Now, Nemea starts thanking Yhwach for the chaos that allowed him to use his sword because it's so sharp it's not useful for anything else. But Yhwach is not bothered as throws his medallion into the mix, and suddenly, he's gone, leaving everyone stunned. Ichigo is impressed, and Nemea gives Yhwach a friendly warning about saying his name lightly. It's all getting pretty intense as the ends here. If you enjoyed this video, remember to smash that like button and hit that subscribe bell so you can experience the epicness of the next episodes. So, stay tuned for more epic battles and mind-bending twists.